By clicking on this video, I already know two things about you. One, you are a motivated videographer, content creator, or filmmaker who, by definition, is already going to be successful because you are looking out for videos just like this. And number two, by the end of this video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys 3 ways that you can actually make a difference in your videography journey in 2022. And it's important that you pick up all these tips because this year is kind of crazy compared to previous years.
Here we go.
Okay, not wasting any time, we're jumping into tip number 1, which is to diversify your content. This also kind of lends to diversifying your income. Now, if you are a videographer who is looking to either become a professional or you already are a professional, it's important that you start diversifying your video content this year. As we all know, there are more video platforms popping up every other day and they need more and more content. But as a videographer, it can become very easy to get stagnated in just creating the same type of videos. And now is kind of the best time to start diversifying because of something that we all sort of know is coming, but we're not really sure how to handle that, and that is
a potential recession.
Now, I don't want to make this video a doom and gloom type of video, but I do want to speak some motivation and some inspiration into how you can actually pre-prepare in case this is something that we have to go through. When it comes to diversifying your content, I am talking about not only choosing to shoot for different types of industries. So what I mean is if you are a wedding videographer, or you are a music video videographer, or you are shooting, product videos or social media content, start changing the types of content that you're creating. Don't get stuck in just one niche, because as one niche starts to struggle, it's nice to be able to have other backups to be able to move into. It'd be a good idea to start diversifying some of your video content based on the needs of that video content. So what I mean by that is if you're someone who shoots for clients, start trying to come up with ways to make video content and make money that don't require the need of a client. I can tell you as someone who had to make it through 2020 that when my clients stopped calling for video needs, it really made my business very difficult, and I had to quickly figure out how to pivot and start making money elsewhere. This is something that I want you guys to get a jump head start on now. If we know a recession is potentially coming, it's important to start figuring out ways to make money and do video content outside of the requirements of clients. One big easy way that you can do this is by posting stock video. Now, full transparency, I don't typically like to do my sponsored integrations this early into a video, but Wirestock is one of those platforms that I think can really help you diversify now in 2022. See, with Wirestock, you can take all of your existing photos and videos and upload it directly to their platform, and then they do the hard work of actually putting it on all the different stock websites. We're talking Pond5, Adobe, Shutterstock, and so many others. And actually just recently, they just added Getty images to their new platforms that they can upload your stock video to. This means that your content can be seen on tons of different stock platforms, and you could be making money on all these platforms. Probably the best thing about Wirestock is the fact that they don't actually charge you anything to do this hard work. They only make money if you make money. So as long as you are uploading your content to them, they do the hard work of passing it out. And then when it starts to sell, they take a small percentage, you keep the rest, and now your content is working for you even when you're not working. This is a great way to actually diversify the income that you're making with your video content, which even if you're not a professional, this is just an awesome way to make some extra money that might just go towards investing in new gear in the future. All right, tip number 2 is actually a tip that I wish I didn't have to give you, but unfortunately it's kind of the times of today. I'm not a fan of it, but it is to scale back your quality and focus more on quantity. Now, as I said, I hate this advice, but unfortunately in the world of videography right now, this seems to be the case. Now, I have a few tips as far as ways if you're like me and you're just like, nope. I don't want to do this. This is a bad piece of advice. First of all, we all know that with TikTok, Instagram Reels, and all the platforms now trying to come out with short form content, as videographers, whether you're doing it for yourself or you're doing it for a client, we have to be posting more and more regularly. If you want to be successful, this is kind of going to be the play that you have to make. So my advice in this is to invest in things that's going to allow you to put out more quantity by saving you time. This could be things like a new laptop, whether you've had an older laptop that's not really cutting it, now is a really good time to invest in an upgraded laptop. laptop. And thanks to like all the new like Apple M1, M2, and M Max Pros and all those crazy processor chips, you can get some really powerful computers now at a much more affordable price. Another type of gear that you can get is anything that helps make your editing process run faster. Like for example, I made a video not too long ago about the Loupedeck CT. This is actually gonna allow you to work through your post-production workflow significantly faster. And getting tools like this, in my opinion, are worth the investment. See, with the Loupedeck CT, it's gonna allow you to actually use all the different knobs, dials, and touchscreens to be able to customize your post-production workflow. So what I mean is, like, if you're working in Final Cut, DaVinci, Premiere, and you have certain effects that you find that you are using consistently, you can save those as just simple touchscreen commands, and it'll apply those effects directly to your clip. One of the things that I like most is that recently Loupedeck came out with an update for Final Cut Pro 10 that will allow you to literally take any effect, and this could be a combination of effects that you saved as a preset, and assign that to one of the touchscreen programmable buttons. From there, you can quickly add effects to your clips. For example, if you have LUTs that you use frequently, or maybe you have entire edit commands that you are using consistently, like if you're shooting vertical, so you need to rotate your clip 90 degrees, and then you need to apply a LUT, and then you wanna go ahead and zoom in that clip a little bit. And even if you know that you're already gonna add slow motion to that clip, you can take all of those edits, add it to a preset, save that preset to a touch command, tap on it, and all of those edits are now added directly to your clip. This is absolutely worth the price because it's gonna save you so much time. Now, as I said, I have worked with Loupedeck before, so because of that, I was able to negotiate 10% off for you guys. So again, this video is not sponsored by them, but I was able to get you guys 10% off on a Loupedeck CT. Let's go, baby, let's go! And that's gonna be linked down below in the description. All right, now my third tip for videographers in 2022 is to really focus on improving very specific skills that I think are actually gonna make your videos really stand out this year and kind of going forward. Now, these three skills are lighting, audio, and editing. Now, we've already kind of touched on why editing is so important, why editing faster is gonna be so important, but really right now, what I am noticing is that it is lighting and audio that is really separating those who are out there on the market now. As we all know, cameras today are vastly better than they used to be. So having better image quality really isn't setting a lot of people apart. I mean, let's face it, not too long ago, if you had something that shot 4K, that was a big deal. Now, it's really not. So lighting and audio is really what's gonna help you stand out. If you look at videos on social media, you'll see that the ones that typically perform better are the ones that have better lighting. Another thing is that because so many people are consuming videos on social, on their phone, well, audio is absolutely imperative. The reason being is that most of the speakers on cell phones are just really not that good. And so if you don't have good audio and that is playing through not so good speakers, well, people are gonna be able to tell the difference and they're gonna quickly swipe away from your video. So it's important right now that you improve your lighting, your audio, and your editing if you wanna stand out as a videographer today. Those are my three tips. However, I do have one big bonus tip if you are a videographer who is actually trying to make money, or you're a videographer who is currently making money. Making money in 2022 is a little bit different in the video landscape than it used to be. I think right now, for every videographer, something you should really consider is raising your prices. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, Brandon, of course I want to raise my prices. I'm always trying to raise my prices, but raising my prices can be scary. It can be difficult, especially if you have existing clients. The reason why I think right now every videographer really needs to actually raise their prices is because this year we saw one of the highest inflation rates we've ever seen at 9.1%. And because of that inflation rate, most videographers maybe don't think about this because they already own the gear, they're really just using their time and a skill set they've already acquired. But realistically, your cost of production actually just went up. And because of that increase in the cost of production, you need to be charging for that new production cost increase. Now, if you're like, Brandon, how did my production costs go up? Let's just take gas, for example. Now the cost to go from your studio or your house to the set where you actually have to shoot these videos has now actually cost you more money, because as we all know, all across the country, especially here in the US, gas prices have definitely soared. It is now the time that you need to actually increase your costs to your clients because of the cost of production increasing. Now, I am not saying that because of inflation that it is time to price gouge your clients to get more money. That is not what I'm saying whatsoever. But for those videographers who are afraid of raising their prices, who maybe been nervous about raising their prices and not really sure how to explain that to their clients, well, inflation kind of becomes that easy talking point to say, hey, you know, because inflation, the cost of production has now increased, therefore the cost of your project is now a little bit more than it maybe was last year. It's okay to have that conversation. Now, if you're not sure how to have that conversation with your client, or maybe you don't want to have that conversation with your client, the easiest way I have found to make sure that you're getting your cost of production is literally just have it as a line item in your invoice. Now, if you're not sending invoices, that's a whole nother problem, and you should definitely check out this video that talks about how not to get screwed and how to handle documentation as a videographer. But I do think right now is the time to increase your prices, especially if you haven't increased them since last year.
5 stars, Angel, 5 stars.
But there you have it, guys. Those are my tips as far as growing as a videographer in 2022. Now is the time to start being actionable. We know that there are some things coming down the pipelines, so let's make sure that we are prepared. As you guys know, I'm a videographer running a production company, and I just want to help you guys go through that process as well. If you have any questions about running a videography production company or being a videographer in general, then definitely leave those comments down below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.